Nicholas here with Earnworthy. And in this video, we're going to be going through a presentation that I just delivered in person for the HR and Business Leaders Council of Florida. It is called Smart Tools and Better Prompts, Your AI Business Blueprint. This is a shortened version of it for anyone who missed my in-person presentation. So let's jump right in. So no matter where you stand on AI, you're in the right place by watching this video because I'm going to be covering some of the history, like I said, lots of tools, and an important framework that you're going to be able to use right away. So we're going to kick things off with the big question. Have you ever wondered why all of this AI stuff seems to have popped up overnight? Like it seems like it wasn't here a minute ago. Now everybody's talking about AI. There's AI in every product that we use, and it's the number one topic in the tech space. So why is that? Well, let me share a quick story with you. Before 2017, AI models struggled with long text and with complex meaning. But then in 2017, there was a breakthrough. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'm talking about this research paper called Attention is All You Need. And it was written and published in 2017, and it was written by the Google Brain team. It's kind of ironic that this was created by the Google Brain team when ultimately the company that benefited the most from it was OpenAI, one of the competitors to Google at this point. Anyways, this paper introduced what is now known as the transformer architecture, which let AI focus on the most important words in a given phrase. And this was a huge breakthrough because up to that point, and this is a super duper simplified version of this, up to that point, the way AI would try to make sense of a sentence or a phrase would be, it would sort of give equal weight to everything in that sentence. So if I said the cat is orange, it would give equal weight to the cat is orange. Every word would have equal weight. But what the transformer model let the AI do is give a little more or a little less attention to certain words. So obviously, the most important words in that sentence would be cat and orange. And so this is what really sparked this revolution in the LLM or large language model space. And so these large language models like GPT from OpenAI or BERT from Google or Claude from Anthropic became possible thanks to this research in 2017 and thanks to the transformer model. And fun little fact here, if you ever wondered what GPT stands for, it stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So it's generative in that it is generating content or text, or at this point it's multimodal, so it's generating images or even videos, but it's generating something. It's pre-trained, meaning that the model was trained in advance. So when you're prompting the model, it's not being trained right then and there. There's a body of knowledge or a body of data that it's previously been trained on. That's what we mean by pre-trained. And then transformer, that's that T word right there. It's going back to that original 2017 paper, Attention is All You Need, which introduced the concept of the transformer model, which sparked this AI revolution. So now, if you're at a dinner party and you're wondering, what does GPT mean? Now you know. It's a little fun fact that you can share. Generative pre-trained transformer. So then on November 30th, 2022, the world changed forever. And this is probably even more important than the Attention is All You Need paper, because in 2017, the paper was released, but it sort of just stayed in the AI community. It was widely regarded among AI engineers and machine learning experts as a pivotal moment in this entire space, but it wasn't really something that got the attention of most consumers. But then on November 30th, 2022, the world changed because that is when OpenAI introduced ChatGPT. Maybe you were one of the first to use it, but the interesting thing is that this was not released by OpenAI with the expectations that it would be some amazing breakthrough that's going to change the world and be such a successful product. It was almost like it was just thrown out there as a preview. And I don't think OpenAI really expected the attention to be as great as it was. But anyways, it grew, and it grew very fast. In fact, at the time, OpenAI's ChatGPT was the fastest growing product in history based on the number of users. In fact, it only took 5 days for ChatGPT to reach 1 million users. To put that in perspective, if you look at Instagram, it took 75 days to reach the first 1 million users. And it took Spotify 150 days. So now, of course, this has since been beat. In fact, Meta's Threads is now the fastest growing product in history, having beat that 5-day window to reach 1 million users. But at the time, this was the fastest growing product in history, which is pretty incredible. And as we all know, the LLM, or the large language model race, was on, with OpenAI's ChatGPT competing against Anthropic's Claude and Google's Gemini, and a few other models as well, such as Grok and the Meta models. But I wanted to share all this with you because it just goes to show that AI is not magic. What it really is pattern recognition at scale. AI finds patterns in massive amounts of data, then it uses those patterns to predict what comes next. And if we look deeper into what AI actually is, we see that there's different types of AI. What we've just been talking about is narrow AI, but then you have AGI and ASI. You may have heard these acronyms, and we're gonna just break them down real quick. So with narrow AI, this is what we have right now. Or even like Netflix, which suggests which movie to watch next. That's technically AI behind the scenes. So that's narrow AI. The next step up is artificial general intelligence, or AGI, which thinks and learns like humans across every task imaginable. We're not there yet, but depending on who you ask, the timeline for achieving AGI, if we ever do, would be somewhere between 2027 and 2040. That's generally the time frame that is thrown out there. And then you have the next step up from AGI, which is ASI. This is the Terminator, Skynet type of thing, where this type of AI would be smarter than humans at everything, and it can improve itself. In fact, some people would say it's smarter than the sum of all humans. So just imagine how powerful that can be. And the fact that it would be able to improve itself takes it even beyond what we can even conceive of. So that hopefully is a far ways off, because that's going to be pretty wild if we ever do have ASI in the world. So what's the bottom line? AI is not going to replace you, but you've probably heard this before, or you've heard a variation of it. Someone who's using AI will replace someone who isn't. That's a fact. So the question isn't whether or not you should use AI. The question is, which tools will you use and how? So that begs the question, what tools should you actually be using? That's why I want to cover 15 AI tools that you should try, or at least get familiar with. And maybe some of these you already know about, but hopefully there's some on the list that are new to you. So we're going to go through those real quickly. These are all 15 at a glance, and let's dig right in. I've categorized them into 5 categories. We have AI for writing, we have AI for graphics and design, AI for audio and video, AI for workflows, and my favorite category, AI enhanced tools. So let's start with AI for writing. Now, of course, we have to start with ChatGPT. This is the tool I use most often, and I'm assuming many of you do, as your daily central AI tool. I think we all need to have one focal point in our AI toolbox, one that is at the core. For me, that's ChatGPT. For others, it may be Gemini or Super Grok or Claude. But you should have one tool that really gets to learn your writing style, your preferences, your business, even your personal life. It should be able to understand and learn from the data around you. And so for me, that's ChatGPT. I can ask it questions, I can have it draft content in my voice, and I can get ideas all using natural language. Now, similar to ChatGPT, you have Claude. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe not. It's from a company called Anthropic that's heavily invested in with Google. And what I like about Claude is that it's better with larger data sets. It's better at analyzing really long PDF documents, or it's better at generating really long articles. If I needed to write an ebook, for instance, I would probably use Claude. Next up, you have Gemini. I mentioned Gemini because this is Google's AI, and it is a very solid tool, and it's also tied in with the Google ecosystem. So if your business or your company is using Google Workspace, then this is going to be tied in with all that data. So it may be the tool that's best for you in that work environment. In fact, if you're paying for Google Workspace, you may already have access to a paid plan, depending on what level of Google Workspace you have. So just go to gemini.google.com and see if you already have a pro plan, if you're already using other paid Google services. Okay, the next category is AI for graphics and design. First, we're going to look at Canva, and you may be wondering, well, I already knew about Canva. Why is that on the list? Well, if you haven't explored Canva in the last year, they have gone all in on AI, and it's really become a completely different product than what it was when they originally started. And now you can instantly create social posts and flyers and presentations using AI-generated layouts and text. You can do some pretty cool things with Canva. Next up, we have Midjourney, which is an image and video generation tool. This used to be considered like the best in class when it comes to image generation, although now with ChatGPT 5 and other models being able to generate images so well, it's hard to keep up. But if I was looking for a tool that just does image and video creation, and I really wanted to fine tune it, this would be the one I would recommend. Next up, you have AI for audio and video. Here's one of my favorite tools on the list. This is HeyGen, where you can clone yourself, or you could create a fictional avatar, and then you can prompt it just using text. You could have it create video. So I created an entire clone of myself. I will link to it somewhere around this video if you want to check out the tutorial for how to clone yourself using HeyGen. It's pretty cool. It's also pretty creepy, and this is one of the most revolutionary tools out there right now. Next up is a tool called Suno. This is where you can create original songs and jingles just by using a short prompt. So when I was giving that presentation, this presentation actually for HR and Business Leaders Council of Florida, I actually created a song using Suno, and I played it in front of the crowd, and a lot of people were pleasantly surprised at the results. Let's just say that. So if you want to do something fun, go check out Suno and create a song for your brand or your company or whatever you want. It's amazing what this tool can do. Next up, we have 11 Labs. This is the most realistic voice AI platform. Now you'll notice in my tutorial for how to clone yourself, I actually don't recommend using the HeyGen audio for your voice. I actually recommend using 11 Labs and using their API connection to plug it in to HeyGen. So you're using HeyGen to generate the video, and you're using 11 Labs for the voice clone. I think it does a lot better job that way. So 11 Labs is the best in the world right now by far when it comes to voice and voice AI. Next up is Descript. That's most likely what I'm using to edit this very video. Descript is amazing. They have this feature called Underlord, where it's an AI video editing assistant. You could tell Underlord, create a fade at the beginning and the end of my video, add some background music, shorten the word gaps, and it'll do all of that. So it's a really powerful platform. Next up, we have AI for workflows. This one is probably the most difficult to learn on the entire list, but it has so much potential because you may have heard the term agentic AI or AI agents. That's really where the AI industry is headed, where you're not just generating text with AI, but you're actually getting AI to do things, to carry out tasks. And that's what we mean when we say agentic AI. And this is one of, if not the best platform for building AI agents. So you build workflows, you build automations, you connect different tools together, and it's got a bit of a learning curve, but if you are patient and you want to be on the cutting edge, definitely check out n8n.io. Crazy name, very cool product. Okay, the next one is a little bit of a shameless plug. As you may know, I have a CRM at our company called Earnworthy. It's called Earnworthy Amplify. It's built on the very powerful high-level platform, but we've tailored it for local service businesses. And the cool part about high level and Earnworthy Amplify is that there is AI built in throughout the system. So if you're using a CRM, but it doesn't have AI functionality, then you're probably missing out. So check out something like Earnworthy Amplify if you're looking for a CRM, or just make sure that the CRM you're using, the client relationship management platform, has AI built in so it can help you automate messages, create workflows and funnels, create automated SMS campaigns, reply to reviews, reply to social media posts. It can do so much. You can even have voice agents powered by 11 Labs answer your phone when you're not available so that you don't miss any leads. If you want to learn more about Earnworthy Amplify, check out earnworthy.com/amplify or send me a message. I'd be happy to share more with you about it. Next up is Manus. The website is manus. Similar to some of these other chat agents or AI agents, Manus tries to do more than just generate content. It tries to carry out tasks on your behalf. Now, does it do a great job? In theory, yes. In practice, I've been not too impressed with it, but I left it on the list because I feel like there's a lot of potential here and it's getting better every single day. Next up, we have AI enhanced tools, my favorite category. So we use ClickUp at Earnworthy, our agency, to manage all of the projects and the tasks that we have for our entire team. So whether or not you're using ClickUp or a spreadsheet or Asana or Basecamp or Trello, I hope that you have some way of keeping track of all the different projects and tasks that you work on, especially if you're working with a team. I like ClickUp because ClickUp, in my opinion, is the one that is the most AI first. They have the most AI capabilities built in, and they're always adding to it. So ClickUp is an amazing platform, and I recommend you check it out. Next up is Notion. It started as a simple note-taking tool, but now it's become a true AI workspace. They even have meeting bots that'll join your calls, although ClickUp has that as well. and they have a calendar app, they have an email client. You can do a lot with Notion, and they have AI built in throughout the platform. Then we have Perplexity, which is, in my opinion, the best AI-powered search. So I'm not a huge fan of AI mode on Google just yet, but I feel like if Google could do something like what Perplexity is doing, that would be pretty impressive. So if I'm looking for something where I need verified sources, I need real-time information, and I want to conduct a search with limited hallucinations, and I want it to be AI powered, I would use Perplexity. So there you have it. Those are the 15 tools. Hopefully there were some new ones on the list, or maybe some that you're using, but you want to revisit them in different ways. Let me know in the comments if you found this helpful and what tools you would add to the list. I would love to hear what new tools you're using so that I can cover some of them in some future videos. And if I do, I will give you a shout out if I remember. So don't hold me to it, but I would love to do some videos of some new AI tools if you have any you want me to check out. Okay, now for the third and final part of this presentation, I want to cover something a little bit different. We're not going to look at the history of AI. We're not going to look at tools. Instead, we're going to cover prompting 101, because this is, without a doubt, the most important skill you can learn if you want to improve your ability with AI. So I said in my real presentation when I was delivering this in person to raise your hand if you've ever typed something into ChatGPT and thought to yourself, well, that was underwhelming. We've all been there. We've all done that. Well, it's not because AI doesn't work. In fact, just like a camera, it works best when you have the skills to properly use it. Because let's face it, AI won't replace you. Someone skilled in AI will. That's a very important thing to keep in mind. So we're going to sharpen those skills. And so in the last few minutes of this presentation, we're going to focus on prompting, because the best way to improve your AI skills is to get better at prompting. So what is a prompt? A prompt is the question, instruction, or input you give to an AI to get a specific response or result. So it's the modern way of knowing how to Google something, although it is 10 times more powerful. Remember how when Google was coming out, or maybe you don't remember, but I remember how it was super important to know how to search on Google, how to get the best results, how to find what you need, how to navigate the search result. Well, that is basically what we're trying to do, but in the AI world with prompting. So for instance, let's say you want to help you come up with social media content for your coffee shop. If you ask, help me come up with social media content for my coffee shop, you're going to get generic surface level results. And that's where prompt frameworks come in. It's important to use frameworks so that you get better results. So if you're already using a framework, let me know which one you're using in the comments below. I would love to hear it, because there are so many different prompt frameworks out there. I'm always trying to learn which ones are popular. But if you ask that type of question using a prompt framework, you're gonna get focused, useful, and on-brand results. So what I did is I created a simplified prompt framework that I think is the only one you're ever gonna need. It's gonna appeal to most small business owners and entrepreneurs and business professionals. It's simple, it's easy to use, and it goes by the acronym RCTA. It stands for Role, Context, Task, and Ask. So we're going to go through what each of those mean. You want to tell the AI who it should act as to guide the tone and expertise of the discussion. Next, with context, you want to provide background so the AI understands the situation. Then with task, you want to clearly state what you want the AI to do. And then finally, this is the most important part of the prompt framework, you want to invite the AI to ask clarifying questions before it starts. So we're going to go through a quick example, and then all of this will make a lot more sense. And we're going to use the RCTA framework. So let's say you are a social media strategist who specializes in helping small businesses grow their online presence with engaging, consistent content. That's the role. And just to recap, this would be the entire prompt that you would put in. This is a prompt that is written using the RCTA framework. So that first part that's highlighted, that is the role. You are setting the role for the AI. Next, this portion is the context. I own a small coffee shop and I want to plan my Instagram content for the next 4 weeks. My audience includes local customers, young professionals, and students. I usually post photos of drinks, behind the scenes clips, and customer shout outs. So that's where you're getting into more detail and you're giving the context. And then we have the task. And this is the part of the prompt that most people always do, but usually this is all they do, right? Imagine if you just put create a 4-week Instagram content calendar with 3 posts per week. It's going to be pretty generic. Instead, you see, we've already set the role, we've added context. Now we get to the task. So we said create a 4-week Instagram content calendar with 3 posts per week, include post ideas, captions, and suggested content types, right? So that's what we want the AI to do. And then the most important part, ask me any questions you need before you start. So this is where we are reversing the role. We're asking the AI to ask us questions so that it has all the context it needs before it starts. So if you put that into something like ChatGPT, you're going to get some results like this, where it's going to say, great, before I start, here are 5 questions. If you could please answer them. What's the name of your coffee shop? Do you have any promotions? Do you have a signature drink? Now, yes, some of this you could pre-train, so you don't really need to have it ask you these types of questions, because if you're using the same AI platform again and again, it's going to learn some basic stuff like the name of your coffee shop. But just for the sake of this example, let's say you just go through here, you spend an extra 1 or 2 minutes answering these questions really quickly. You don't have to put a lot of thought into it. A few words per answer is going to be more than enough. That alone is going to give you such better results. So in summary, if you use this 4-step structure to get more useful, accurate, and human-like responses, you're going to save so much time in the long run, even if it takes you just a little bit more time in how you craft these prompts and the few extra minutes to answer those questions. So just remember, role, context, task, and ask. And first you assign a role, then you set the scene, then you specify the task, then you invite clarifying questions, and that's the most important part. And the cool part is you can use this with any of the major large learning model AI tools that we talked about, such as ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, or Grok, or any of them. And you could also use it for pretty much anything you want to do with an AI, such as write a blog post, turn notes into an outline, summarize a policy, write email sequences, respond to customer inquiries, summarize meeting notes. All of it's going to be made so much easier if you use a prompt framework, whether it's RCTA or one of the other ones that are out there. So to wrap all of this up, just remember, the better the prompt, the better the results. It's not coding, it's not magic. It's just learning how to talk to an AI in a way that gets you what you actually want. So that's the presentation. I thank you for watching this. Hopefully it's been helpful. Let me know if you got any good nuggets from this presentation in the comments below. Of course, if you're interested in learning more about Earnworthy Amplify, our CRM for local small businesses, check it out at earnworthy.com/amplify. And I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up for this channel. That means so much to me as I try to reach more and more people on YouTube and make more content like this free of charge. So if you stay subscribed, or if you subscribe for the first time, that's going to be the best way to stay on the cutting edge, because I'll be sharing new videos every single week. That's going to do it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.